All right. Introduce yourself, man.
Hey, what's up, man? My name is Scrilla King, born and raised from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and it's a long way from here, but it feels good to be in LA, man.
Sure. Now you're in the news recently
Yeah.
over your association with Tom Hanks' son, Chet
Yeah.
Haze. Okay, so how did you guys become friends?
About, I say 3.5, 4 years ago, when I first came out to LA, me and him met through a mutual friend of ours. We hit it off real good. I didn't even honestly know he was Tom Hanks' son. When I first met him, I think that's what kept the vibe really real. We had a few brews and we were just talking business, talking life, and I was like, man, this dude, he seemed like he got a good head on his shoulder. So we started working, and then from there it kept going.
So working in terms of doing music?
Yeah, we started doing music, just really trying to figure out a plan of how we wanted to move in the game and do some stuff. So it was cool. It was awesome.
Okay. So at that point, how long had he been rapping?
I'd say not that long, because he showed me some stuff and I was like, oh, that's cool, but he was more of a singer, I would say. He was doing a singing thing, and he was like, hey, what you think of this? And I was like, oh, I like it. And then I showed him a couple of my joints. He's like, what you think of this? He's like, oh, this is cool. And then I brought him to my studio, and it kind of evolved from there.
Okay. So like, how close is Chet with his dad, who's a mega star?
For me, I don't personally know how close their relationship is, but I know it can't be, it can't be like me and my dad. Like I feel like if it were me in his position, I'd be in a different position.
What do you mean by that?
You silly black. I mean, let's put it like this: if I were in his position, I wouldn't be where he's at right now.
And where's he at right now?
He doing his thing, but what I'm saying, I'd be doing a little more, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I would utilize not off of my family's success per se, but I would take into note that, my family has a legacy. I'm gonna withhold that legacy, not take away from it. That's just all I gotta say. I ain't saying he taking away from it. I'm just saying, if I were in his position, seeing the things that he's been presented to him,
Mm-hmm.
I would have capitalized in a different way. But maybe that's me coming from nothing, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I done shook 1,000 hands just to see your face right now, so.
Right. So is he fairly well off? Does he still live with his folks, or lives on his own, or?
I know he fairly well off. I don't know how well off. I never talked to him about his finances. I just know when I asked him to bring money to the table for our projects and stuff to see what kind of, he was like, nah, it ain't like that with my family. So I'm like,
Okay.
What could it be like? Your dad's, so.
Well, maybe his dad isn't looking to invest in his musical career.
True. Hey, and that's what I'm saying. I totally get that.
Or maybe he wants to get it to a certain point on his own first.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, okay, let me just throw money at this.
Right.
Because his dad has done hundreds of movies.
Exactly.
And,
Like,
it's probably worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Actually, let me see.
I dig that.
Let's do
Yeah,
Tom
let's do
Hanks
it.
net worth.
And by the way, let me say this first off, man. I love Tom Hanks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Anything I say about like this particular topic, I don't want it to go back. Like TMZ, they bashed me. Like I got mad respect for Tom Hanks. You know what I'm saying? So
Tom Hanks is, according to the internet, is worth $350 million.
You see what I'm saying? And, nice.
$350 million. We're talking like puffy Jay-Z numbers. Just kind of put it into the hip hop perspective of things.
Yup.
Not a bad amount of money, and the money keeps coming because he has major roles, starring roles in major films. So the money, there's
residuals and all
the
that.
residuals,
Yup.
the royalties,
Yup.
and the licensing and all that. That's going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Does Tom Hanks have a lot of kids, or?
I think he's like what, 5, 6?
5, 6
He's
kids.
in there. He's in
Okay.
there somewhere.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I love Tom Hanks, man.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I love Tom. I love Tom.
Have you ever actually met Tom Hanks during the course of?
I haven't,
Okay.
which is a good question. I feel like I was closer to meeting him on my own one time than I was ever through the relationship with Chet.
Okay. So you and Chet work on music.
Right.
And how long were you guys working on music together?
A good, since we met about 3.5, 4, I say a good 1.5, 2 years actually focusing on a project.
Okay. And that was what? An album you guys were doing together?
I'll call it an EP. We got in the studio. I brought him over to my studio in Beverly Hills, and we just started knocking out records organically from the bottom. You know how we do it, and you know, it was just a good musical, good musical feeling. But because of the falling out, some of these records never got released.
Okay. Now, when you guys were working on records, were there any known artists or producers that are working with y'all? Or?
Yeah, like I did a record with Mike Jones. Shout out Mike. Shout out whole Money Train movement. I support what they doing. You know, down south, I was working with. I do a lot of top line writing, so I've written for a lot of top line, people in the game.
What does that mean, top line writing?
Ghost writing.
Okay.
I've written a lot. I've been on a lot of cool records.
Can you say which ones?
I'd rather not, just from the disclosures of things, but
okay, fair enough.
So
you and Chet were working on music for like a year and a half.
Right.
Where did the whole N-word thing kind of, fall when you guys were just hanging out together?
So one time, he probably won't even remember this. This is how nonchalant I was at the moment, but I will never forget. We were chilling at the studio, and we went outside to, smoke or something. And during the process from going upstairs to downstairs, he slipped out, and said it. But I didn't cause attention to it. I didn't even say nothing.
How did he say it?
It was just like, hey, my nigga, can we, something like that, just like, whoop, cool. And I'm like, I let it slide, he probably wouldn't even remember even watching this interview, but I caught it, you know what I'm saying? Because I have Caucasian friends that I love dearly, but every time they call me a nigga, I notice, because it's like, yo, you know what I mean? But I didn't call it to attention until things escalated recently with some things, and that's when I came out and I said, yo, like, I don't condone it,
Okay. So would he just use it freely around you?
I wouldn't say he would use it freely. I would say, like, let's say you want me to pass something. Hey, my nigga, can you grab that? Oh, what? You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Just real casual. Maybe in a freely sense, but he's not saying it repetitively to let me hear him say it. You know what I mean?
I mean, do you feel that there's a certain level of responsibility on you for letting it happen? Because when you don't say anything, that's somewhat of an okay to keep saying it.
Not necessarily. Maybe at the current, moment, I just didn't want to like make the situation awkward, especially when it happened initially. This was over like, 6 months ago. I didn't want to be like, hey man, you just called me nigga, that's a problem, It wasn't until recently when he started stepping out on camera saying, oh, I could say this because, that's why I was like, all right, bro, like, you got to really, chill out with it. Just because of your entitlement, you can't feel led to say whatever you feel like just because your dad is who he is. You got to still respect everybody just because everybody deserves respect if they haven't disrespected you. Now, if you using the word in an artistic form and you're using it to express yourself because you got niggas and that's what you're doing, and that's fine. But if as soon as you...
It is?
Okay, let me elaborate, Vlad. Let me look. You see, you trying to catch me here.
And I'm just trying to catch you. I'm just trying to see your point of view in it.
I'm saying it in a sense. Let's say I drop nigga. I don't want you to be like, is that wrong for me to say it and then wrong for him? I don't want that controversy to be there. Where I feel there's a problem is because of his position. You know what I'm saying? If you take another cat like that nobody knows who happens to be Caucasian or maybe albino and he drops the word nigga, it ain't gonna raise no eyebrows because he's nobody.
Albino black or albino white?
I mean, he albino, so I don't know what he is.
Well, no, but I mean, albino, you could be different races and be
That's
albino.
That's what I'm saying,
but
the content
Chinese.
of his color isn't dark, is what I'm trying to say. So,
well, I mean, if you're a black person who's an albino, you're still black.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like King Yellow Man, the reggae artist.
Right.
Like no one gonna, he's got songs with the N-word in it. Ain't no one gonna
They not gonna
call him a racist.
Of course,
but you could tell by his features and hair.
Black.
He's you know what I'm talking about,
right?
He's clearly a black man here. Who's just albino.
So in those certain cases, that's okay. But I'm saying in a situation of him being, the supremacy of who he is, I just don't feel it's right for him to be dropping the N-bomb and saying, oh, it's okay, it's accepted. Because I mean, you got to think like back to our ancestors. This was a word that was used not as a form of endearment, but to belittle us. You know what I'm saying? So what happens when we chilling and he just like I said, he drops it again. Of course, this time I would feel entitled to say something. Maybe you're right, Vlad. Maybe I shouldn't have let it slide the first time.
Well, when you let it slide, you're telling a person it's okay.
Not necessarily. Maybe it rubbed me the wrong way, but I didn't want no animosity in the moment, you know.
Well, but things could be presented at different times. You don't have to present it at this point. You can say, hey, yesterday when you said that, it kind of bothered me.
But see, that's the thing. After that happened, I stopped really, you know, me and bro weren't really, you know what I'm saying? We weren't really cool like that.
Oh, so you just stopped fucking with him
after that? Yeah, I stopped fucking with bro. I mean, I invited, you know, I could tell he was the type of person to just use people, you know, like I brought him out to my Riff Raff show, you know, shout out to Riff Raff, shout out to everything they doing.
I know Riff Raff.
You know, but I brought him out to the show that we did in Santa Ana. And then next thing you know, bro didn't show me no love. Bro didn't say thank you. You know, bro had the nerve to ask me 2 minutes before the show, hey, can I do my own song? I looked at bro like he was crazy. I almost told him to walk home. You know what I mean?
But you were opening up for Riff Raff?
Yeah, I opened up for Riff Raff over at Santa Ana. And, you know, it was a real nice show. Real live, real turned up. We had the crowd going crazy. And then I had a, opportunity to present to Chet, you know, thinking, hey, yo, if we going to be working together, you know, come out on stage, get out more. You nowhere. You know, you Tom Hanks' son, but nobody really knows you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I felt like his entitlement, he felt like he was bigger than he was because of his father. You know what I mean? And that's why we fell out, you know? Like he would talk to me. We have conversations. I'll be like, yo, bro, come to this thing I got. This is a big project. Oh man, Scrilla, I'm doing real shit, man. What you mean you doing real shit? Like I'm doing fake shit, you know? So that's why I'm not fucking with bro. Like his entitlement, you know? Okay. I ain't gonna hold back, Vlad.
Well, let's watch a couple of his videos.
All right.
Look, I know the majority of y'all are not gonna get this because the history is still so fresh in our country. But hip-hop isn't about race. It's about the culture you identify with. And can't no one tell me what I can't say.
Was that the first one, or?
I'm not sure. I think that could have been.
Okay, hold on. Let's do another one.
I just want to clarify one thing. Under no circumstances would I ever go up to somebody that I didn't know and just be like, hey, what's up, my nigga? It's an unspoken thing between people who are friends who understand each other.
Where is the first N-word thing? Like, where did that come from? I'm trying to figure out where the original video.
It came from, I think.
Was it a song?
No, well, he said it in the song, you know. I guess he said it in the song. And, you know, TMZ hit me like, yo, you used to be friends with homie. Like, how do you feel about this? And I was like, I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I do, you know. I ain't trying to get publicity off of him because I tell him to his face that I don't agree with it, you know.
Okay. So when did you guys really have a falling out, or did you really have a falling out?
Around that time. Like, yeah, bro, like, I had a major, let's just put it like this. I had a major situation that was presented to me, you know, for me and him. And
what, like a record deal?
Something like that, you know. And, you know, he felt that his entitlement was too heavy for what I was doing. So I had a situation.
Okay.
That was a real situation.
It was a real situation.
It was a real situation with some head people. And all we really needed to do was just move forward. And
what do you mean move forward? Sign the contract?
Not necessarily just sign the contract, like just move forward. Like, are you down with this? Yes, I'm down with it. Let's do it, you know?
And it was going to be, what, the EP?
Yup. We did an EP, and I was gonna have the first single that we did, Body Talk. I was gonna have it put out there where he's not dropping the nigga word like he's somebody, and it was a clean record, real good, and I didn't end up releasing it. The record probably never will be released.
Okay, and what, he came in and said that he didn't want to do it?
He just. For him, I don't think it was a hard enough record, you know, because for me, I like dropping records with substance. Vlad. I like doing songs that, you know, are meaningful. I don't just like putting out shit records. Now we got turn up, we got all types of stuff, but I like putting out records with substance. And I presented this situation, you know, through an EP, and it was like, oh, this is the green light. And then he got on the phone talking reckless, you know, and I felt like it was his entitlement. And it really just made me step back in my career and realize that I had to watch out with who I worked with. Okay. Because, you know, you could be real cool with somebody 1 second, and then next thing you know, they could be your worst, you know, friend in the turnaround.
Okay. So what do you mean by talking reckless?
Yo, bro, I do real shit, you know.
And this is you, him, and the people who are trying to invest in
That's him talking on to me, saying that.
Like, talking to you directly?
Yeah, saying like, and we're on three-way. You feel me?
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, bro. So, you know, You know, if he was in my face saying that, Vlad, it would have been a different story. You know, just for the simple fact that, like I said, man, I came from the bottom. You know, just, you know, even being in LA is a blessing for me. Even being able to do music is a blessing. You know, I wasn't a silver spoon baby. So somebody telling me that, you know, I do real shit is almost like saying you not doing shit, or what you're doing isn't on the level of what I'm doing. And it's funny because at the beginning of this interview, we just kind of clarified that he's really not known outside of Tom Hanks' name. So I felt that to be kind of funny, you know? It was just like, okay, no problem.
Well, do you feel that someone whose dad is worth $350 million is not going to have the same hunger as someone who's scraping their rent together every month? And
I do. I agree.
Could pick and choose what he wants to do because there isn't that type of hunger involved in their life?
But see, that's the problem though. You should, if you really grind, you gonna grind with, look at Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks ain't stopped just because he got $350 million. You see what I'm saying?
Right. He's still doing movies.
So obviously, Chet feels entitled. Like we said, he feels entitled to something. That's not him. That's not his success. I'll say it on camera. That's not his success. You know what I mean? That's why Tom Hanks is one of my all-time favorite actors. Do I look at Chet the same way? Hell no. You know? That's just how it is.
You know, some people go watch this and say that you're hating.
Okay. That's their opinion. I'm going to keep making music and I'm going to keep showing love because I don't got beef with nobody. You know?
Have you and Chet talked after that phone call?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bro. That's another reason maybe I'm a little more timid, too. You're right, Vlad. You know, bro tried to get on that hype with me, you know? And
what do you mean get on that hype?
Like, he tried to text me just rapping, you feel me? And for me, I'm not one to really talk. I ain't even gonna go into detail with that. If bro got that issue when he see me, that's cool, you know? I'm not gonna.
You're saying y'all got a physical issue?
I don't got no physical issue, Vlad. Okay. I just say if an issue is presented to me, I'm gonna deal with it. If not, I'm gonna just let it ride out because I'm not looking for negativity. I don't feed off of it, you know?
Okay. So Chet went on Instagram, said what he said. You said what you said. Have you guys talked since then?
Yeah.
The TMZ thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He texted me.
Oh, after the TMZ thing?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Bro hit me because he probably thought that I'm the one who sent him the story. And, you know, they twisted things up. And that's why it's good to actually be sitting down with, you know, in front of a camera. So if bro's listening, he could realize that he went off on me for some shit that really wasn't even my fault.
Okay.
You know?
So he was upset over the TMZ thing?
Yeah, he was pissed. Homie was pissed off.
Okay.
And that's how you know he was wrong because he shouldn't be pissed off. Because any dude that gets on the internet saying, I could say this,
you should stand behind it.
Exactly. You feel me? Just like I'm not gonna step aside and stand behind the fact that I don't agree with what he said.
Okay.
I don't care how cool we get in 5 years, 2 years, a month. I'm never gonna stand by him for what he did.
Well, you know, as a white person in hip hop myself,
right,
who's been in it a little longer than Chet.
Okay.
And he's probably, you know, he's gonna listen to this interview. My advice to him would be that your life won't really be improved by using the N-word.
You see what I'm saying?
And most black people that you're around will actually respect you more for not saying it.
See what I'm saying?
For never saying it. I
saying?
never say it because I feel it's not my right.
You see, Vlad? You see that right there?
If I ever have to say it, I say it as the N-word. I refer to it as that. I don't actually use the other.
And that's mad respect right there. That's mad respect. You know what I mean? That's
and
mad respect.
That's the way I've been rolling for a very long time. And I've seen very, you know, I've even had people even tell me, say, I respect you as a white person in hip hop for not using that.
Right. Because you don't have to brand yourself off of that.
Because when you do use it, some people won't care. Your friends probably won't care. But you never really know who you are offending. Because a lot of times, just like in your case, they just won't say anything.
Exactly.
But they'll think something.
Exactly.
But they may not want the uncomfortable moment. So not everyone's confrontational.
Exactly.
Like I'm kind of confrontational. I tell people not have a problem, but not everyone's like me.
Right.
And a lot of people just do not want the confrontation. Will just keep it to themselves.
Right. That's how I am. I don't like beefing with people. You feel me? I want a successful music career. You know, I want to keep going. Chet's not a factor to me. You know what I mean? I don't lose sleep at night because he wants to fight me. You feel me?
Okay, so he actually wants to fight you now?
I ain't say. I mean, hey, I don't know. You feel me? All I know is if a problem gets presented to me in my face, I'm gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna be the guy rapping over the phone when you Tom Hanks' son. That's all I'm gonna say.
This kind of brings me back. There's a theme that kind of you see on Vlad TV
Okay.
quite a while, and it kind of started with me and Lord Jamar in some of our talks.
Okay.
And Lord Jamar from Brand Nubian, one of his things that he stands on is that white rappers are guests in the house of hip hop.
White rappers, you're coming to this almost as a guest, okay? Matter of fact, you are guests in the house of hip hop. Just because you have a hit record doesn't give you the right, as I feel, to voice your opinion.
Which doesn't mean that white rappers shouldn't be allowed to rap or participate, but it just means that hip hop is a black art form.
Right.
And if you're going to be a part of it, you should be respectful to the people who invented it and established the culture.
Right.
What's your take on this?
Like I said, man, I'm not gonna tell anybody to say what they want. I'm not gonna tell nobody what they can and can't say. Because who am I? I'm not God. But at the same time, if you say something offensive to a large community, I would advise you to pipe it down. You know what I mean? When like you said, this community was started by African Americans, meaning that if you got a guy that's trying to be a part of the community, I don't think dropping nigga every 5 seconds is gonna help him get there. Like you stated, I feel as if it's almost he's using it in a form of negativity more than a term of endearment, like we said. Cause why in your rightful mind would you ever think that was okay? Like you clearly said I would never do that, because that was naturally your wisdom. Why doesn't he have that same wisdom you have? That's all I'm.
Do you remember when V Nasty was using it a few years back?
Okay.
White Girl Mob.
Yeah.
There was Creation, then there was V Nasty and so forth. She actually had an album, Gucci Man, come out at some point.
Okay.
I've interviewed her before.
Okay.
And as soon as we sat down, like, I kind of got the whole thing. And that is, this girl grew up in East Oakland. She had never been outside of Oakland.
Right.
When her friends started to pop and she started to tour around and stuff like that.
Right.
And she grew up in a very black community.
Right.
Where all of her friends are black.
Right.
Her baby father is black. She has 2 kids with him. And like her family kind of, her friend's family kind of helped her out a lot and stuff like that.
Right.
And it was like, I got it, because it was like, she really didn't know anything else up until this point, because when you're poor, living in Oakland,
and that's
you never leave Oakland.
But we talk, that's real.
Yeah,
you feel me?
She has,
you feel me? That's a whole different, to me,
the way she talks, dresses, her mannerisms, it's kind of like,
right.
I kind of got it. But I think a lot of people have a problem when someone grows up rich.
Right.
And then feels like
entitled to say something like that.
Yeah, I think I could say it now because I have a couple of black friends and I'm a rapper now.
Right. And see that and see, to be honest, to be really real with you, Vlad, this is the realest thing I'm gonna say. I don't feel, if I wasn't black, I don't even think I would have ever been cool with Chet, because I don't think he would have liked me.
Okay.
Straight up. I felt like he gravitated toward me because I was black. Because for some reason, he feels maybe it makes him more of the culture, whatever. But for me, it's like, look, bro, look at your situation. Look who you are. Look at the entitlement you feel and sit back. Because honestly, you could sit back and people may still even talk about you just because of how, strongly and, an impression that your father has put on the entertainment industry as a whole. You know what I mean? You could sit back and still get more coverage than most people who came up from the bottom and have nothing. I remember the times in Indiana where we didn't even have heat in the house. You know what I'm saying? That's something he couldn't ever relate to me. Bro got in my car 4 years ago, Vlad. This is real. I don't even care how I look. I'm going to keep it 100% saucy. Bro got in my car. It was embarrassing because he couldn't even buckle his seatbelt because I was coming from the gutter when I first came out here. I had a Volvo 97. You know what I mean? He was trying to buckle up the seatbelt and was like, oh, fuck it, And for me, it was embarrassing. But that's where I came from. Now I got a 2015 whip. And when we went to do our show, I had told him, I was like, yeah, I got a new whip. He didn't even show me. He was like, oh, cool. Because for him, it's not an accomplishment. See, to me, that's success. Making it out of one situation to the next situation, that's success. Coming from nothing and trying to be anything in your life or striving for greatness, that's success. Not you breaching off of somebody else's success and trying to make it as if you're something you're not, because you never can be that. Like, we watched you grow up, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me?
Well, Jermaine Dupri chimed in on the situation. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that.
He said, "Be careful, Chet Haze. You ain't my N-word."
Right.
And that's what I think is the thing about when you're white, especially in hip hop, and you start to do that.
Yeah.
There's people that you're going to be offending.
You don't even know it.
Whether you know, I mean, there's a lot of Jermaine, people who are feeling Jermaine Dupri right now.
Right.
Who just
shout out to Jermaine. I love all your stuff.
Who don't have a camera in front of their face.
Right.
Expressing themselves. They're talking amongst each other and so forth. So that'd be my advice to Chet. And how old is Chet?
Like what, 25, 24?
25. I mean,
you know,
still young, but old enough to know.
I shouldn't be saying that. You know, I ain't got, like I said, Vlad, I ain't come here to rant on him. I ain't come here to, I understand everything, that's going around. But like I said, I'm gonna stand by my point. I respect hip hop. I respect the founders and the people before me. I got mad love for a lot of people in the game. I got love for you, man. And, even just, I got more respect for you than I do for, homeboy, just for the simple fact that you obviously have wisdom that he obviously never got. And,
I'm a little older too, though.
Of course, but it just, you got you just even the way you present yourself. Like, my friends didn't even feel comfortable around him. You know what I mean? Like, they're up here like, and that's why they said it in the interview on TMZ, but they gassed it up. But like, my homeboy, we had rehearsal before, the Santa Ana show. I brought Chet around, and Chet up here like, oh yeah, my mic gonna be louder than theirs, right? Like, bro, they not even gonna be on the stage, dog, and you only coming on here one song. You feel me? So it was just like his entitlement. He don't, you know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know what it is. I just feel like his entitlement is what really got to me. And then maybe the reason that I even acted out on it was for the fact that he's texting my phone, saying things like, because from where I grew up, you don't text about shit you about to do. You know what I mean? That's not what you do. If you're gonna really do something, bro, see me in the streets. Let's get live. If that's not how you grew up, let's leave it alone, because I don't need that confrontation. But if you want that confrontation, meet me in the streets. Don't text my phone rapping. You feel me? I'll leave that for the booth.
So is there any chance for y'all to become cool again?
Hey, I don't got a problem with him. He the one mad at me. I don't got a problem with him.
So if he came back to you and said, "Hey man, I'm sorry, I was tripping. Let's get back in the studio, make some more music."
Nah, maybe not on that level right now. Maybe down the road, or like I said, I'm in it for the long run, man. If he clears up his his mind state and he wanted to work on a project in the future, maybe I would do it. But as far as being buddy, like, yo, let's go grab a drink, hell no. You know what I mean? Like, you just got on a screen and told everybody in the world that it's okay for you to say nigga. Why would you do that? You didn't even have to do that. You could have just left it alone and said, I made a mistake, and everybody would have loved you. You're Tom Hanks' son. But you had to open your mouth and say some shit, and now people gonna be like, whoa, did Tom Hanks do something wrong? And now it makes Tom look bad, and Tom's one of my favorite actors. He gotta reap the repercussions of his son going crazy. That sucks. I would never want to do that to my father. That's why I say I know they don't got the relationship me and my father has, because I'm Haitian. Let me say that too.
Okay.
You feel me? I'm Haitian, so when I feel a certain way, I feel you suck nabule. You feel me? I'm real. I'm really into it when I feel something, because that's how my culture is. I wouldn't consider myself a black dude. I consider myself a Haitian black dude. You see what I'm saying? I grew up around Haitians, so every Haitian knows we treat each other like family, just like the black community.
So your dad would pull out the belt if you were wilding out like this?
When I was young, you feel me? You used to tear that ass up. You feel me? Yeah. I ain't gonna, And that's why I feel like I was more structured than, a lot of other people coming up. But at the same time, you gotta learn what to say and what not to say. That's how you move through life,
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with Chet in the upcoming months, man.
That's what I mean. We were dealing with those issues that's happening right now in 2015 and 1990.
Were you with him when that happened?
We was living together.
You were living together.
he had gone to the bank, came home all scarred up, mad. I took the pictures.
And when Meek said it, he's not turning his back on the hood. I guess what he's saying is, you doing all this, man. Like, you doing this to blow the fuck up and to move on and bring your dudes out of it with you.